All right, I'm gonna try this and see if it works out. But hi, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Um, if you find this, any of you, um, it's for you. I was sleeping and I don't know, just being extremely tired, exhausted, but that is also accumulation of a lot of us, like nervous system healing somehow, somewhere, and we are grateful for the awareness and the awakening and the wisdom and the education that has been shared by a lot of people. But it's not just that. We need to continue focusing on Gaza, Palestine, okay? There's still a genocide there, right? So this too is like this energy reading that I'm being pushed to do is in the midst of a lot of fucked up weird lies and chaos and like just a lot of like you just understand the level of lies of a system that is just uses oppresses people, steal land, no accountability of no with which impunity, and we're watching that in real time in real life and we're expected not to do anything. And that too is like sometimes I cannot sleep because I'm in my crying session. I'm sharing stuff on Telegram. Please check my Telegram. All evidence and stuff is there. I'm not just talking here out of, but also we read energies, and that's something that I want to continue focusing on. I don't know. I'm just trying to find ways of we also have to feed. There's people like I've been thinking to do like extended, and then those who buy the extended, I will donate those completely to families in Gaza to feed. Like they're starving them. They're dying like 24 hours, and babies are like 48 hours, and then there's newborns and babies that are going to die. And we know this, and the silence is really like, so we are in a death cult. Like, this is for real. And then we have this general in USA or whatever, he got fired, whatever. But he's like, yeah, it's a death cult. Like, completely. And it's like, oh, thanks. We already know, but
Have you guys heard about the U.S. Colonel Nathan McCormick, who's been removed from his position at the Pentagon after referring to the occupation of Palestine as a death cult? I guess you can get fired for telling the truth these days. He called Netanyahu and his allies Judeo-supremacist cronies, and despite what Ted Cruz would tell you, he says that Israel is the U.S.'s worst ally. And the occupation of Palestine responded to accusations that it's a death cult by locking its citizens in. Israel tells airlines not to let Israeli citizens leave, even once repatriation flights start. When your settler colony is actually an escape room, they say, we're fighting the death cult allegations by doing a little sacrifice. That'd be like if somebody was like, you're a cannibal. And then the other person was like, no, I'm not. I'll eat you.
and we don't need the validation of the guts, but good for you that you sacrifice your job and everything. It's fine. You're supposed to. A lot of us, like, we think that doing nothing is just gonna be like, okay, great. Do you know? A lot of us do these things because also, as a caregiver, there's a lot of people who are not okay with this, who have disabilities, who have a mind and soul and brain, and have needs that a lot of us they cannot sustain themselves, that they need help and stuff like that. And a lot of those people who help them, you can that has happened in the past and it has succeeded. So a lot of you, that too, is like a lot of us, our causes are all interconnected, right? uh, Disability rights, equality rights, or women's rights, right? And freedom of speech or real education, free education, you know, like all the things that humanity needs to like be successful. But also that too, like now, that too is that energy of the chat DDP, which is like another extension of parasitic energy trying to infiltrate. And a lot of y'all, do you not understand? It's just making you dumber. You know it. Be okay with that shadow, that you need to understand that that's how colonialism works. And a lot of us, when we speak this, is for you to decolonize. You need to decolonize. It's not okay to accept abuse and oppress and stealing from you and making it okay with our taxes, even though we are aware we're not dumbasses. They think that we are dumbasses, like they are.
While the world debates the Israel-Iran war, a massacre is unfolding in silence, not in headlines, not on front lines, but in food lines. On May 27, 2025, aid returned to Gaza, a fragile lifeline for a starving population. But that lifeline turned into a death trap. In Rafah's Tel al-Sultan neighborhood, Israeli forces opened fire on civilians rushing toward aid trucks. Dozens were killed on the first day, and it didn't stop there. Rafah, Khan Yunis, central Gaza. Every time the aid trucks arrived, people gathered, starving, desperate, unarmed, and every time they were shot at. By June 16th, over 330 Palestinians had been killed, nearly 3,000 more wounded. Then came June 17th, Khan Yunis, the deadliest single day yet. 59 people killed, 221 injured, just for standing in line, waiting for food. No weapons, no fighting, only hunger. Now on June 20th, 409 civilians dead, over 3,200 injured, all in less than 3 weeks, all while trying to survive. Israel claims it's targeting fighters hidden in crowds, but the victims were mothers, fathers, children. Gaza's aid lines have become execution zones, and the world was watching in silence. Don't let silence be the final word. Share this. Speak up. Demand accountability, because no one should die with bread in their hands.
Behind me is the wreckage from a ballistic missile launched by the Iranian regime. What you can see is a civilian apartment building in Bat Yam, or what's left of it, after a ballistic missile directly hit this building. Numerous people were killed, hundreds were injured, and there are now soldiers behind me digging through the rubble to try to find the bodies of hopefully, survivors from this attack. The difference between us and between the Iranian regime is we are attacking strategic military points in Iran to limit their military capabilities, while they are launching rockets at civilian buildings. Now this is just a ballistic missile. Imagine if they had a nuclear weapon. This is what we need to stop. This is what we're fighting for, and we're doing it for the safety of the entire world. I'm Yisrael Chai.
First off, the fact that you don't understand the concept of what a microphone is used for, which is to speak into it, automatically discredits you and any pathetic attempt you make at reporting the truth, as you are just a dim-witted wannabe journalist that's better off choking on that microphone while you act so surprised to see what actual rubble looks like. While you freak out on your balcony over the sight of one building being hit, may I remind you of you evil pieces of shit doing this to the entirety of Gaza and are continuing to do this to tents until this very day, since there are no buildings left to bomb. You know, fulfilling your daily quota of dead Palestinian children, you sick fucks. One thing you forgot to mention in your make-believe kindergarten news report is that your terrorist ethno-state started this by bombing Iran unprovoked in a blatant and purposeful escalation attempt in order for Netanyahu and his terrorist goons to avoid getting voted out of power, which was supposed to happen that very day you bombed Iran, while also halting Iran-US nuclear negotiations that were underway by killing Iran's nuclear negotiator, while also distracting the entire world as you cut all internet and media in Gaza out, and put Gaza into a total blackout as you continued to commit heinous war crimes in the dark. Yes, you forgot to report any of that in your self-victimizing Boy Who Cried Wolf report, just like the entirety of the Western news media, not even remotely reporting on Iran being the actual victims that were struck first, killing hundreds of innocent civilians, a significant portion of which were children. Not a single image like this shown on Western media, because Israel can do no wrong to them. In fact, AP News originally reported this headline, indicating Israeli strikes killing 406 people, to which they took it down and put this headline up to replace it with ambiguity as to which side the hundreds of deaths came from, when it was clear it was from Iran. Because to the West, Iranians aren't humans, unless they're pretentious Shahs of the Sunset or Zio-supporting token brown turds bowing down to their masters. And have you noticed how Western news media is allowed on scene in Israel, all up in the rubble, to report on the carnage when Israel doesn't let a single outside news source enter Gaza for 1 millisecond without Israel's supervision and review of the news footage by Israel before it's aired? I mean, the BBC's joke of a news network is out here parroting the same bullshit, unsubstantiated vitriol that Netanyahu has been spewing for over 33 plus years, with not a single word of it coming to fruition, which is insinuating that Iran was months away or years away from building a nuclear bomb in order to substantiate Israel's preemptive strike, killing hundreds of civilians. Oh, BBC, have you forgotten that we know that you give Israeli deaths 33 times more coverage than Palestinian deaths? When there are over 1,000 times more Palestinian deaths than there are Israeli casualties? 500,000 Palestinian deaths over the Israeli casualties? BBC, you also forgot to report that BBC's Middle East online editor was a former CIA employee and Israeli Mossad collaborator. These pathetic excuses of journalists are getting outclassed by us general public that have no investigative journalism experience or a journalism degree, as we were able to do a simple search and report that ever since 1992. Every single time Netanyahu said Iran was months away or years away from building nuclear weapons, which he has said year after year after year for 33 years straight and counting, it never happened. He said the same about Iraq and other Arab and Muslim nations, sending the U.S. to kill millions of innocent civilians in Arab countries while also killing thousands of their own American soldiers that had no idea what the fuck they were fighting for other than the bullshit that they were fed from those profiting from wars built off of the lies from demons like this, who happens to run a fake terrorist ethno-state that would not survive without constant wars and destabilization of the region it has no right to be in. And if you had even a single inquisitive brain cell, you'd be able to research to find out that not only has Iran not developed a nuclear weapon in those 33 plus years that they were supposed to develop within months, but Israel is actually the nuclear threat in our world that goes unchecked. No, literally. Iran, who Israel and the U.S. have coordinated to demonize via blueprint written back in 2009 through pages and pages of propaganda to feed Western media, is the country that actually complies with international law and allows for IAEA nuclear inspections and has signed the NPT, the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. And if Iran was in breach of the NPT agreement recently, it's specifically because of the decades worth of abuse, breaches of international law, and attacks on their sovereignty by Israel and the wicked West. Because if you keep bombing the garage of my house, claiming I'm storing weapons in there year after year, only to find that I don't have any weapons, and then after 33 plus years of this, you bomb my garage again, I sure as hell will be storing weapons to flex back at you. This is why countries like North Korea don't get attacked, because they have nuclear weapons. Listen to what Iran's lead nuclear negotiator said in an interview as he was gearing up to strike a deal with Trump this coming Sunday.
Shamhani is one of the few people in Iran authorized to speak about the sensitive negotiations.
We can definitely have better relations with the U.S.
Shamhani said that Iran is willing to commit to never having a nuclear weapon, to getting rid of its stockpiles of highly enriched uranium, to only enriching to a level needed for civilian use, and to allow inspectors in to oversee it all, in exchange for lifting all sanctions immediately.
Yeah, guess who specifically targeted and killed him a couple days ago? Israel. Guess who refuses to allow for any international inspections and refuses to sign the NPT? Israel. Guess who has openly spoken about the Samson option, with now leaked documents that verify this? Israel. Yes, you see it right. Israel has Washington, D.C., New York, Los Angeles, and the NORAD region of Colorado, which is the North American Aerospace Defense Command Center of the U.S., as targets for their last resort nuclear attack if the world, including the West, turns on them. No, really. Look up the Samson option. Funny thing is, Pakistan, who has significantly more nukes than Israel, said that they would nuke Israel off the planet if they attempted to nuke Iran. The only silver lining in this pathetically corrupt and dehumanizing world is that Palestine opening your eyes post-October 7th set the domino effect of your truth-seeking path into motion, where now with all that is going on between Iran and Israel, the whole world has a high-beam flashlight on all the bullshit you throw at us. For example, while the U.S. was dodging questions left and right and denying any involvement in Israel's bombing of Iran, we all called bullshit. What happened hours later? The U.S. admitted they knew about it from the get-go. In fact, we all know the U.S. helped orchestrate this and provided the weapons to do this, so that they could eventually join in on the escalation and destabilization to eventually help overthrow Iran's leadership and replace it with a U.S. and Israel-controlled puppet government that will help the West obtain Iranian oil and natural resources. No, really. Stock experts are already going on live TV to discuss how a regime change in Iran would be a great thing for the region and for the West pockets.
Now, what would be interesting is if there is regime change in Iran and you could get private companies operating in that country with the world's third largest oil reserves, gas reserves, third largest oil reserves. So there's a lot of oil there. And if Iran were to have regime change, peace and stability would be strengthened. Yeah.
And just like clockwork, Western news media spouts out whatever is fed to them and actually reported that the U.S. rejected helping Israel against Iran, to which all of us that have lived and breathed this song and dance immediately called bullshit again. What happens hours later? Yup. After Israel literally threatened to kill Iranian civilians, not just military installations, Trump posts a threat to kill all those in Tehran, telling the entire city of Tehran, which is the size of New York City, to evacuate, alluding to the U.S. joining their fellow terrorists in their endless war crimes. Israel literally bombed an Iranian state TV station live while a woman was giving a report on air. Yet, our Western news media either doesn't mention it or uses it to gas up Israel, indicating that this is their way to show Iran that they can target wherever they want. And side note, feminists out here snipping their ponytails off because they stand in solidarity with the women of Iran don't even bat an eye for a woman that looks like this, or the endless mothers and women killed daily by Israel in Gaza, because Western feminism is a myth thinly cloaked by blatant racism. It's all lies upon lies upon lies that we're seeing in broad daylight. And the best part is, in just a couple days of this, Iran was able to expose everything we've all known, but on live stream, around Israel's MO, which is every accusation is their confession. They said Gaza has tunnels under their hospitals, which have yet to be found in over a year and a half of this. And in just 2 days, we find out Israel has underground tunnels and bunkers under one of their hospitals, while they also targeted a hospital in Iran. Israel said Hamas fires rockets from schools, hospitals, and mosques without a single shred of evidence in a year and a half. And in just 2 days of Iran defending itself against Israel, you literally see missiles being shot from the heart of the densely populated Tel Aviv, thus literally showcasing Israel using their civilians as human shields. In fact, Israel prohibited Israelis from trying to flee to maintain a perception that they are not afraid and that their numbers are still strong. So basically keeping their civilians in harm's way for a PR stunt. We are literally seeing the IDF soldiers hiding in tunnels and bunkers amongst Israeli civilians. And Israelis were caught on camera not allowing Thai workers and Palestinians with Israeli passports into their bunkers, telling them to fend for themselves, further showcasing their racist apartheid system. I really enjoyed watching this piece of shit go from cocky dancing fuck to bitch-ass coward hiding amongst civilians within a matter of 1 day.
We are not scared of you fuckers. Why, Bob? Yo! Why? The reality of living in Israel.
Not dancing anymore, huh, you bitch? What about you guys? Where are all your dancing TikToks now? Or your videos making fun of Arabs getting killed? All I'm seeing is you looking like complete crocodile crying cowards, hunched over on the ground like the little bitches you are. What I want you all to get from this is that the light at the end of the long, long tunnel is growing. What would have been a reflexive move to join Israel immediately in this war against Iran, there is now lots of stalling tactics from the Western powers that be. Sure, they're still sneakily trying to fund and arm Israel behind closed doors, but they are not coming to their defense like they used to. In the U.S., Trump supporters, especially those operating under America First, are completely against U.S. involvement in anything that has to do with Israel. Not only are U.S. veterans increasingly anti-Israel and against the onslaught on Gaza, but active duty members of the U.S. military are actively resigning from duty as they cannot, in good conscience, join the terrorists of Israel as they commit endless war crimes. Because they know their fascist government is just sending them there to die for a terrorist foreign entity. In fact, the U.S. just fed their troops steak and lobster, which rarely ever happens unless their deployment is extended or they are going to war immediately. My bet is the latter. Time for you troops to throw that steak and lobster back in their faces and say no to assisting in war crimes. But the most indicative factor alluding to Israel's ultimate demise is money. Not only are the international boycotts working while businesses continually shut down in Israel, with Israel's tourism industry going down the toilet, but they are literally hemorrhaging money with each attack by Iran to the tune of $1 billion a day, with Israel's former defense chief issuing a dire warning around Israel's economic downfall. So now is the time to boycott harder than ever and to keep boycotting, because this Israeli terrorist apartheid regime is not sustainable anymore, as even the wicked West is starting to hold back from them. But until then, I'm just going to enjoy this light show while all you bitches scramble. It's funny because by the looks of it, you can't handle the heat, which means you're all in for a rude awakening when you all go to hell. So in case you wanted to know if Iran's attacks are effective, just listen to what just a little bit of broken glass does to these non-indigenous cowards.
Iran has fired some 350 missiles at Israel since Friday. The vast majority of them shot down, but a few got through, including hitting this residential building outside Tel Aviv. We followed Lucy Bukai up to her family's 10th floor apartment. It's trashed, windows shattered, no power. So what is it like for you to see your family house like this?
It's, I have no words. It's just, I feel it's a movie. It's a bad movie.
She does not want to come back.
How? How can you continue to live here if such thing can happen?
Bye-bye.
And I cannot stress this enough that you are not. 444 on the timer. A lot of you are protected when you focus on truth, clarity, and justice. That's the mission. And a lot of people, this is their energy where they don't want you to have that focus of change, of liberation for all, of diversifying, of reparations. You see those words, if that triggers you, that's how much they have the programming you and brainwash you basically to accept abuse, narcissist energy, demonic energy, siphoning energy from you, creating fears and doubts, and all of that powers their energy. This is the biggest fear. And no, it's not a conspiracy theory, it's not a propaganda, it's facts, it is truth, and you know it. It's felt. A lot of you're learning in the season. We know it's not right? We know we cannot live in a world where psychotic people get away with stuff, right? Let's be real. Let's care, empathy, right? Yes, let's care. I don't understand a lot of your behavior, bypassing, right? There's that one. I'm not here to blame or anything like that. I don't want to spend my time and energy that I have to do other things because I could be doing other things. But when you have a divine calling, mission, things that you're supposed to be doing, then yeah, you have to let go of everything and do those things, especially when it comes from the Most High. A lot of you, I don't know how to explain to a lot of you that you are not benefiting at all from a system that oppresses you, and capitalism and inequality and white supremacy. All of that is parasitic and demonic, and it is what it's like the host kill itself, or like a lot of you, that's what it is. And that's what also, it's like divine resistance as well. This is something that I understood in environmental when I went into environmental science. And then that's when you shift. And that's where a lot of us, we shift. We have to shift because we know we reach that point where colonialism can no longer lie, or capitalism can no longer, like there's a reach. They have limits. They are weak. And every time you have truth and awareness and knowledge about it, that's why that energy of a lot of us who have that inner guidance, inner oracle energy, a lot of us, we are sisters, we are brothers, and we all have oracle energy, wisdom. Journalism was supposed to be a form of oracle in the past, right? So a lot of us, we remember the true journalism with true clarity and justice. This is why a lot of people are able to empower themselves and be in that equal ground where it has been in the past. It's just been trying to erase it, right? Obviously, we now understand that even more deeper of their past intentions trying to happen all over again. Do not fall into the propaganda of the same energy of Iraq. You feel like it's deja vu for some of y'all? Those for y'all who are in, 30s and 40s now, right? Let's be realistic. And it's nothing wrong with going to the, and right? And finding joy with those things. But a lot of us, we have sacrificed so much for the truth and justice, and that is normalized, just as like they trying to normalize genocide. Wow. Wow, what kind of humanity and society or energy we want to leave behind? This is it? Wow. Ignorance, and then projected to us afterwards. Colonial gaslighting, and we're still not aware of those things, not educated enough about those things, but we are allowing them to do that, and that is not violence? Wow. I'm not buying it. A lot of us were not buying it, right? We're not buying it. And that's okay. Continue boycotting, continue divesting, continue doing those things. But a lot of us, we are being calling to do other things while also working. We have many, many layers, right? Multiple beings. Trust that. That is for a reason, okay? Okay, so my usually long videos that I do on the YouTube channel are really long, and this is only 10 minutes because that allows me because of the filter. I didn't want to I'm so tired, but also I can't sleep. This energy is a strong energy. And that too, it's like a lot of people are afraid of like being really authentic and really real with people. This really bothers a lot of people, and that's something that I'm learning to understand as well, that not everybody's in the same level of awareness, or they want to, or they care. I mean, you hope they care, right? But then you see them, like the way they act, their actions, what they post, what they comment, and you're like, wow, that's really who you are, huh? Wow. Psycho, genocidal, killer, racist person. Wow. Yeah. A lot of you have been getting that energy a lot. Don't waste your energy on commenters, on people who are just here to trigger you or trying to create a reaction or something like that. Others of you, I don't do personal readings. I don't, and okay, and I will never reach you for anything like that, okay? All that you need to know is in the link in the description here on the YouTube, and the link in bio, or any so yeah, don't get scammed or fooled or anything like that, okay? There's weird ass people yeah. Anyways, the energy that I wanted to read today, even though I don't know how in the midst of all of this, I'm just my reposts on or Telegram, please check out reposts on TikTok as well, okay? And I share on my Blue Sky as well, or my broadcasts. I still have a blog that I have to publish in Medium that is taking me a while. As you guys know, or those who follow me for a while, I explained it before. It's I do things for educational purposes here. I don't do this for clout or anything like that. I just want people to be free. I want my people to be free. I want all the oppressed to be free. I want equality. I want a sustainable future. I always have. And those who get bothered by that, I don't know what to tell you. Why you're here? You're here to learn, or you're here to get messages. A lot of you love the message of free stuff, right? But you're so, why you're here, right? Because somehow, somewhere, deep down in that hollow ego sadistic, so a lot of you have that energy, and you are supposed to very well because it's being trying to be normalized, but it's not supposed to, so a lot of you need to really act wisely and be conscious of the actions that you do, because there's receipts. People keep we will never forget. I don't know about y'all, but I will never forget that for 20 fucking months, we watch genocide of Gaza, Palestine, and make fucking lies and talk shit and make propaganda and spread propaganda, okay? While people going here in TikTok trying to get money so that they can buy food in their own genocide where they're stuck in siege and apartheid and what? I will never forget that shit. 343 on the timer, and you should never forget it either. That's the point. They're trying to erase it now from our minds, or gaslighting us to the point that we actually believe that, like, they're insane. If you're not feeling angry or any type of way or any of the shadow feelings that a lot of us need to be understanding, because that's what the truth is. That's where the colonization really started. A lot of you are avoiding it because you want to stay ignorant and comfortable with what's going on in the world, right? Spirituality without what's going on to other people, hurting, the suffering of other people, it's not real spirituality. You're just fucking faking shit and trying to get something out of other people suffering. The same thing that capitalism and colonialism is, right? That's your shadow that you need to work on, that a lot of us, we don't want to face it, or we don't want to talk about it because it's too hard, right? Okay, imagine fucking trying to survive a genocide, surviving sexual violence that is happening in Sudan and Congo recently, that we haven't, like, you know, there's just because there's not a lot of footage like we see in Telegram for Palestine and stuff, it doesn't mean that the other people are not suffering too. To get stuff for a lot of y'all, gold and iPhones and all this shit that we are telling you to fucking stop fucking boycott this shit, right? No, but it's so easy to be comfortable at home and get all these things and buy it with a click, right? And pretend that whatever is going on in the world is not really happening, right? This is the illusion that a lot of y'all, the materialistic consumerism, idealistic, individualistic, whatever you want to call it, has normalized fucked up, psychotic people like all of y'all who are still accepting this motherfucking shit, right? And you still call us crazy because we can't sleep, because we have feelings, because we care, because we don't think that's fucking right that we are watching on live videos. A lot of it, you're watching it because if I show that stuff here in any of my, I'll get banned and all this and removed and stuff like that. And a lot of us, we also take energy and time to find ways of how to publish, to tell the truth to people and not get like banned or anything like that by these platforms, because you want to know why? Because they are complicit. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I know. They have something against people who speak the truth and stuff like that. And it has always happened. This is something that I've started with climate change. So a lot, like 8, 9, 10 years ago, it's like, wow, there's my awakening. Like, that's awakening. Social justice like climate justice without social justice is nothing. It's just like, like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? So once you start to understand that this is what Greta is, where she's at now, that she literally got kidnapped by Israel, and God knows what they did, and she hasn't, and she knows, she said, like, she came out like, it's racism, it's fucking racism, because I'm white, right? Like, she's literally telling people, and they're trying to erase that message and a lot of things that she's expressing, because she does have that energy where a lot of people, and that's it, like, the narrative is dying. And this is another thing, is like, it's harder for me to talk about this for a lot of people, but this is for a specific divine masculine percent that I have who watches me, or those who are going to watch me in the future. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and sharing. It does help the channel, anything where I post this, okay, it does help, okay? Because someone somewhere needs to hear this, and this is something that I was like, okay, it's gonna help someone somewhere. It's gonna guide someone in their path. They're gonna be in the right path because of that one message, and that for me is enough. So that's why I do what I do, and outside of all the other things, because I know, I understand, and I respect all of y'all who are creating content nonstop because it's your livelihood, it's your financial whatever, and you don't have any other jobs outside of this. And this is where a lot of y'all, you don't want to risk talking about social justice or things that are happening in the world. I am honestly very disappointed about the spiritual community of any other platforms that like, they're not, like, you can't read this energy. Why? It's too beneath you. Reading about what's going on and creating awareness, a community of warriors, of educators, of healers, or all this, like, this energy, I love this so much. I have to show it.
You do not need to protest to enact social change. If you're able-bodied, willing, and healthy, you should. But there are immunocompromised folks, disabled baddies, and people who simply cannot protest. So here are 10 different rules to enact social change based on a framework created by 𝉉𝆃Real called the Social Change Ecosystem Map. First, as a visionary, this is somebody who imagines bold new possibilities for the future. This can look like hosting a brainstorming session to co-create a vision on what the future of climate justice looks like, or a mayoral candidate who believes that New York City should have free buses and universal childcare. The second role is a builder. This is someone who creates, develops, and sustains structures that support change. This can look like launching a mutual aid network or creating a local community fridge. Third role is a healer. This is somebody who centers healing to repair trauma done on movements and communities. This can look like facilitating a peer support group or a healing circle after a protest, or therapist who offers sliding scale to marginalized groups. It can also be a caregiver. Caregiver provides direct support to sustain the well-being of others in the movement. This can look like cooking meals for protesters after a long protest week, or offering childcare during community meetings or events. Do not underestimate the role of a caregiver. It can also be a disruptor. These are protesters. Someone who organizes a sit-in or march to demand policy change, or if you cannot physically attend a protest, this looks like somebody who organizes a financial boycott. Or maybe you're a storyteller. This is someone who shares stories that shift narratives and inspire action. It can look like somebody who creates a documentary that uncovers the realities of ICE raids, or a short-form video about the 10 different ways to enact social change so that you leave prepared knowing your role in the movement. It can also be a guide. A guide offers insights, tools, and mentorship for others on their social change journey. This can look like hosting a workshop on how to effectively organize. Somebody who mentors a youth group that's launching their first advocacy campaign. Or maybe you're an experimenter. Somebody who tries new approaches to solve old problems. Like maybe you have a community response team instead of calling 911. Or a communal fund to help those in need in your neighborhood. Maybe you're a frontline responder. This is somebody who takes immediate action during times of crises to help those in need. Like somebody who distributes water, masks, and supplies during a protest, or organizes emergency housing for families facing deportation. The last role is a weaver. This is somebody who connects people, ideas, and movements to build collective power. This can be as simple as a shared calendar across local activist events, or a monthly connection circle, where activists reflect, share resources, and align their efforts. There are going to be roles that are not encompassed by this. You might have multiple roles, and there are so many actions that you can take, but a good starting point, go to tinyurl.com/social change map, which links directly to this framework created by 𝉉𝆃Real so you can have a conversation about what roles best suit you in your local community. This is all just a reminder that protesting is one of the many things that you can do under this dusty-ass, crusty, disgusting, archaic system that we live under, and I hope this helps.
Okay. Yes. So, for now on, I'm gonna be doing that. Those who resonate with the videos, great. If not, but I have to be obedient because I feel like I feel restless, like I cannot sleep. And also I have other things. I'm like, oh man, I have to do, like, you know, a lot of us resting is part of the resistance as well. Like, you understand us. If you see the enemy energy, how they're trying to, the multiple destruction, the proper, like you're learning their way of how this is like a game for them. And it's fucked up that a lot of us, we understand it. Those who watch the Squid Games or something like that, I've never watched this, so, but people talking about it and I hear it and it's in the energy sometimes, like when I'm reading or I'm channeling, I was like, what the fuck is a Squid Game? So it turns out that there actually is a real Squid Game in Gaza as a humanitarian aid for Gaza or something like that, which is paid by the US and Israel. Like these people are getting paid to like fucking torture like people who are starving. Yeah. They open the crossing, they let them see all the food that they need. Then they make them go, you know, they're hungry. People have been starved for 3 months. So they humiliate them. They are humiliating these people who are already starving them. Let that sink in. If you don't get your empathy triggered by what I just said, and you look at my Telegram and you see those videos that you can't stomach, oh my God. That's how violent white supremacy and colonial billionaires, motherfucking assholes, they don't care. They care about their stocks, their share, their money, and their what? Survival of what? Of what they created that they're not creating, destroying, right? And a lot of us were trying to create a different world that we can survive, that we can have equal rights, that we can have what we need. No, these people just want to hoarder and take, and they don't care. And also weird fetish obsessions with killing children and doing something to women. And a lot of us, we were just like, oh no, it's fine. It's the politicians blaming religion, all that. And meanwhile, the culprit are watching us and our platforms because they own it. I'm going to let that marinate a little. 242 on the timer and 222's alignment. Yeah. It's hard to swallow the pill, is it? Because a lot of us, we're so comfortable with our own ignorance, right? Our own shadow, our own ego, and normalizing a lot of things that should be not. A lot of you use your malachis, work on your heart chakras, okay? A lot of you, if it's ice or cold or pitta, work on these things, okay? Heal, forgive, and stuff like that. If the people who are surviving genocide are forgiving and so, why can you do that? Why? Right? Not only that, a lot of you, you're mad because, oh, Israel what? What do you mean? Have you been with us for the past 20 months? And the people and the families and asking for help to free Gaza, free Palestine, stop the siege and stop the genocide and the apartheid, right? For 20 months. And then we have before that, right? 77, these people, like, why is this entity trying to protect this territory, right? That is not even theirs, right? This is why it's the white supremacy energy. It's like hoarding, right? They like to hoarder, and now they're blocking their own people from leaving the country because people don't want to be there because they can leave and not be bombed, because that's illegal, right? Now, after a couple hospitals being bombed by Iran, and then them in Gaza, 36 hospital, that is okay because they are white Jewish supremacists, right? I got you there, right? You guys are normalizing that because they're white. Do you see how the white supremacy energy and colonialism is a sickness? It's a parasitic energy. It kills a host, the human body, their brain, our minds, and everything. Everything is connected. Medically, spiritually, emotionally, everything. Physically, which the energy is. Colonialism is stealing. They are stealing, right? Siphoning is stealing. Taking from someone's free will, right? Trying to change someone's free will. For a lot of us, oracles, healers, psychics, seers, we are for the fighters of the underdog in the spiritual realm, right? That is supposed to be the energy. So a lot of people are just focused on relationship and whatever situation, twin flames or whatever, and not being concentrated. And others, that's a little percentage, but other people are aware and are awake and are doing things in the background and forward, and they don't care. Like, because we should care about humans. Like, people are being massacred and butchered. Like, why? This is like a lot of people, they give me an explanation. They give me an explanation for it. I was like, you have an explanation for that? I should be away from you. Like, for real. A lot of you, that is your North Star. And this is what's so hard for a lot of spiritual people to understand. Your North Star is free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free the oppressed people. That is your North Star. Where have you been? Like, a lot of you, like, you talking about cries, and this is why Zionism is so fucking toxic as fuck. It's karmic as fuck. Narcissism. All that's a karmic energy, where the enemy needs to keep you there, trapped, so it can continue, because it's weak. It cannot continue this work without y'all. Wake the fuck up. That is actual, and they're literally projecting it to us and trying to criminalize and create it like, oh, it's a terrorist. They are the terrorists. Our own leaders and our own people, billionaires, and they are. They know it. They focus more on the stock market of their own fucking companies who sell guns and bombs, that we are watching them kill people. And there's money in genocide. How is it that capitalism allows money in genocide? This is something what I'm trying to say. Like, people making money out of genocide, how is that legal? How are we using that? Questioning that. Emotional intelligence is their threat and it's your weapon. Wake the fuck up. You need to understand that God is the major resistance fighter. And he's speaking to those people who, with any possible way, because there's so much fucking lies. And a lot of you, you're just like read your books, man. Educate, talk to the people on the ground, join communities, understand that to build a different system, we need everybody. We can't do this. They know it. What do you think? The propaganda. They spend millions, billions, trillions to keep you not knowing the truth, because they know that once a human understands the truth and has awareness and has emotional intelligence, you are unstoppable. Everyone is. It's just human nature. They know that. But guess who doesn't have that? Those who are stealing from you. They need you calm and quiet while they take from you in any possible way. And that's how the system is designed for. And also it takes most people from the oppressed. Absolutely. Not saying that other people, but a lot of people, white people, you will never experience what a person of color will. It's just never. You have privileges, and you need to understand those privileges so that you can use your privileges to help those in need, especially oppressed. Okay? Just saying. So yeah, we continue speaking your truth. Speak your truth. Speak your voice. Speak whatever. You need to advocate for yourself. A lot of y'all, I feel like we live in a world now that those who understand how to survive certain situations, you understand how the system starts working. Until then, you cannot expect people to you really have, a lot of us, we need to create communities and education systems and other ways to survive, because and then it's not fear mongering. I'm not here to fear monger, but also I don't want to be a distraction. I don't want the messages or the guides or the energy that I need to read for other people, that Father God wants me to read for other people. It doesn't mean that I'm forgetting about what's going on. It's just that I have to continue exposing, right, in terms of energy, because that's what I'm good at. And that eventually that's it. Today he was letting me know, accept it. You caregiving, hey, Aquila, and just do those things. Everybody else has different missions to do. I'm going to continue doing my best that I can, ability of protest, but I will continue encouraging my people to check out my Telegram, to check out my Linktree. I have families there and donations that you can give. Those people are still trying to survive. They need food. At least they can buy it. It's very expensive to buy food in Gaza inside where they can get food. Yes, the aid is still blocked and is still blocking it, but obviously, you know how it works. Capitalism is a fucking bullshit, and they definitely use it there. Yes, even within the genocidal apartheid that they're trying to do in Palestine. Yes, they still have to buy food. They still have to maintain a lifestyle or maintain, try to get water and stuff. Yeah, they need this resources. What do you mean? I don't know. I feel like a lot of you don't think that can really happen to a lot of us. That is the test. That's us there. Do you want to be in that energy? Gaza is exposing what they're this is their example, where they want to do in the future. If they they're literally talking about replacing us as billionaires. They're nasty, disgusting people. And a lot of you idolizing these people and celebrities who are not caring about to stop a genocide. A lot of you, what the fuck? A lot of you know what's going on. A lot of you are internet savvy. You know about social media. You know what to do with these phones. You know what to do. All those of you, yeah, okay, older people, fine, sure, but they can learn just like everybody else. I don't know. This energy is very strange. A lot of people are not taking accountability at all. 333. There's a reason for this. The message also that is today that he wanted me to talk about. Deep dark sea mermaid. Find solutions in the unknown places in the darkness. Okay. I mean, a lot of us, we have work like that where we have to, it's different from other people. Sometimes me channeling is at nighttime or daytime. It depends of what's going on or what I need to work on. But the fact is, I was so exhausted when I got home today after work, and then like, oh my God, wake up. I was like, oh, it's like late. But everything is done for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. So he wants me to talk about not only about what's happening in the world, but he said that the specific message is for someone. And it's going to be like, oh my God, really low percentage of people, which is why it's like, okay, I'll do it. I know nobody wants to do this one, but I'm sure it's going to pop up eventually and people will understand. So for a lot of you, it's hard to, because this has been commercialized and used for all kinds of things, but for a lot of you, the message is an energy of a divine masculine, someone who wants to make something clear about to someone, where if the separation had initiated, it had to do not because they left you, or they, not that left you, but they maybe their way of how they stopped talking to you or created a separation. It wasn't because they weren't attracted to you, or they weren't interested, or that they chose someone else over you, or that that's the one, that they chose somebody else over you. A lot of you divine feminines, or some of you don't really care anymore, because a lot of you are in that energy where you're in alignment with yourself, with your divine feminine, divine masculine of yourself. So a lot of you understand that being single, or if you have a partner, that partner is equal as you as well, then you understand that that's not really a requirement, right? That you don't really need them to be successful or happy or sovereignty. A lot of y'all divine feminines who I speak here, you have sovereignty and you understand it. And this is why you embrace that, you share it, and it's an energy that is felt. So when people walk in certain situations, or they meet you or find you somewhere or online, if you have a platform, then the energy is felt. It's not something that you can't, it's like someone that you are exactly how you are in every spaces, and you don't need to pretend. A lot of celebrities have a hard time with that because they build multiple masks, and not just celebrities, everybody. Some people build multiple masks to hide who they truly are, right? Or what they're feeling, or what they're, depending of how they were raised, or what they went through, what type of trauma they went through. And most people, especially people who are oppressed, go through much. And it's not a competition, like this energy that's dark, like trying to see, like, okay, is your trauma bigger than mine? Have you, a lot of you, like that imaginary energy, like, has that happened? Like, a lot of you just like, why am I competing with someone, like, or why you see that when you see two people, like, okay, that's your trauma, and then that's your trauma, but why you're like, okay, and then it's like, oh, but this one and this one, like, trying to make it, like, it's like, oh, wow, like, a lot of you, which, like, it's like this invisible, like, who will win, or it's weird. I don't know if a lot of you, if that has happened, let me know, but, like, have you ever wondered, like, why people compete? Who has the most trauma? Have you noticed that shit? And you're like, why is that okay? Like, what the fuck? Anyways, I don't know where I'm getting at, but this is something that must be significant for someone. Like, it's not a competition, the trauma, and we have great capitalism is so toxic. I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, as a healing journey, I need to phrase this as best as I can, and not as long, because I cannot do that long. Especially this is only like 10 minutes, and I like the filter, because the real, it's like tired, puffy eyes, like I been crying, and like, okay, what else can I do? What else can, and it's never stopped, and then also have my caregiving, like I love my clients, and I'm a single mom as well, so when I have mommy time, I don't have, like, but I want to invest in the time that I'm not, so it's like balancing all of that out and stable. So that's why I was like, a lot of you don't have time, like, you mind your own business, and a lot of y'all, this is someone that they noticing that now. And then that could be them as well, doing that thing for themselves and not needing someone to help them do that or finalize that or something like that. So this is someone who, like, didn't, the separation wasn't, or didn't ghost you for a lot of you, for some of you, and a lot of you, I understand, like the ghosting, you don't accept that shit. I get it, okay? I do not either. But sometimes some people, it's like your love or your energy overwhelms them, and they need to like. So yeah, so this is someone, a message. The message is this, and I'm gonna continue this. It's that they are they didn't do that for that. They did that because they want to do better for themselves and for you, because they knew that they weren't the person for you, or the level that you are, or the standard that you have, and they wanted to work on that. So that's the message. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into it. It says, okay, so I got the channel message when I got these like 3 different decks today. It was kind of cool, but just borrow. And that's true. It's like it kept coming and coming. Like this person is trying to come across as, okay, where are the readings or the energy where the guy or the divine masculine does not choose a karmic? Where is that one? Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Yes, this is someone who grabbed their cojones, okay? Las bolas, las pelotas, whatever you want to call it, okay? And they decided they are going to not only create this energy of single energy, but also understand themselves. And then decided, yeah, they might have like dated or take someone out, whatever, some shit like that, but never sharing their sacral energy. That, no, it's a no. Yes, this is someone who decided that they want to save it, or for someone that they, admire, or has, like, I feel like this is someone who like have healed or have worked on themselves, have done the shadow work, or is doing it. We're never completely healed, and this is someone who understanding all that. And also, like, it's funny that, not funny, but it's just interesting that the message coming up when there's times like this where I'm sharing like really crazy stuff. So this is someone could, like, I'm sharing this stuff, not crazy stuff, I'm sharing the truth, right? But the truth is so violent, it's so like, and you see it, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, this is someone awakened, right? So the messages has to be related to someone who knows what's going on with the world, and they're not asleep, and they're not taking it just like, oh, okay, it's just what it is, or ignorant or comfortable with genocide. This is someone who, like, could be like any of the things that we mentioned before, caregiver, disruptor, or defender, or investor, like any of those things. Like, this could be a category that they're at, but I feel like this is energy. It's like this someone doesn't want to be categorized. This is someone like really wise, okay, or very wise for their years, or they could be younger than you, it could be older, and have a, I don't know, it's like an old soul energy. I feel like at this point, age doesn't really matter in this situation. I feel like this is someone who's like has grown or mature or tried to mature, but it's like now they focus so much in their career and stuff like that that they have forgotten. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if they know how to love, or they learn from family, or they're close to their family or not. We can tap into it, and I will check on that. But I just feel like they're, yeah, their energy is different. Yeah. I don't want to assume things, but the channel message was that it was like there's someone that they chose, they could have, they chose themselves, tame and attain. So something about horses could be significant, or maybe like this is someone who cares about horses, or but I don't know, the energy, look, it's completely closed out. Let me see what is going on. Victory, nourish the shadow, right? This is someone who sees this is an opportunity or something, or victory or something like that. Claim your power in reverse. Like, you're about to shine. So there's something that they cannot like stomach or something, or some people who are surrounded. Maybe I feel like this person is aware of the energy around them. So this is someone who's doing the shadow work. I don't know, this that keeps calling me about this, but because this person is doing the work. So a lot of you, maybe if you haven't done this, this is something that a lot of you should be doing, and this is why, you know, this is, I don't know, I just feel like most of like twin flames or energy, they're like resistant fires. So this is why their energy is, all you see is the clouded distraction, like Delulu shit, and like, oh, I don't want to feed you Delulu, but it's like, but you kind of like projectingly kind of saying that you are. I don't want to feed anybody's Delulu, especially when we're stuck in this pride and ego energy. Yeah, exactly. And resistance. I'm in the resistance energy. FY, if you haven't, just, you know, feel that energy, right? And no, I'm not going to betray my comrades for fucking bullshit money. This is why I don't idolize money or anybody with money, like, extensive. Because if you have all that power and all you do is buy yachts and, like, you know, and share stock with companies, make companies that make bombs and kill people and stuff like that, like, you're a loser. You're a fucking parasite. Like, you shouldn't be, like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of you, that's it. Like, true worth is measured by character, not accolades. Okay? Arrogance, vanity, and ego. That's it. That's what we are. This is the empire, USA empire, and all that. And that's the energy that this person is like, yo, I let go of a good thing for pride and ego as well. Like, they're full of pride and ego, okay? This person is arrogant. So they've been to something, or this is something that they have chosen, the vanity and ego, and I feel like they are stuck in a situation or things that they want to get out of, or they already have, I don't know, of something that is just full of ego, full of like just nothing. Yeah, distrust, right? So a lot of you go with the flow and be open to life changes, okay? So opposition, refusal, denial. So yeah, so this is someone could be in denial, or a lot of you, yeah, the ego. A lot of you, they have lost the opportunity for some of you, or lost their chance with you. This is someone who wants to like do the 360 energy, and a lot of you, you're just like, what? This is their shadow energy. I don't know what spirit wants to go through this, but this is someone who, they didn't choose anybody. They chose the ego, but for a lot of you, it feels like betrayal, right? Like, this is why you're resistant to this energy, because you don't trust this person. Exactly, distrust. But this is someone who has been going through depression, or a lot of you have been going through depression, and you know, came out of it, and now they're going through it. So this is something that they're like recognizing. A lot of you did done actions or done things out of envy, and that's, for a lot of you, is a red flag, right? So racism is racism is jealousy and envy with a name on it, right? Let's be real. So a lot of you could be multiracial maybe, or one of you is black or white or whatever, doesn't matter. But some of you, there's a lot of jealous and envy, okay? But also like desire, like people desire you and they feel guilty, or this could be someone that have jealousy, or they get jealous, or but they feel a lot of desire and they feel guilty about that. But I feel like this is sacral sexual energy or alchemy for some of you that has happened, and that is divine, right? So this is someone who father's convicting for their pride, for being too prideful, okay? Yeah, for their fucking ego. They chose their ego instead of... So they wanted like escalades or something, or they wanted to be some rewards for this reading. If they're watching this, they're like, oh, you see, now they're going to talk about me because I didn't choose any karma, I didn't choose anybody, or like, you know, but you're still in your ego when you still choose ego and pride, right? You chose career, you chose money, you chose anything else but healing and working on that union that Father God has told you to, and now you're regretting. This is someone who's in regret right now of losing that opportunity. I talk about this in part 1, part 2. It's a really long reading channel message as well, and it will also channel song message because there was a lot of songs there. Who's awake at 3 o'clock 21 in the morning? You see, we're not the only one who wake up in the middle of the night. So let's do some prayers and I'll be right back. So yeah, nourish the shadow. That's the message of this person, or you, or a lot of you forgiving. You're, I don't know. This is a message for someone that needs to know. So a lot of you that they were suppressing their feelings, but they're suppressing that shadow apathy, like having no empathy or caring about how their actions will affect you, or how they will treat you will affect, you know. So a lot of you, if they hurt you, this was like healing energy, okay? It was healing, it was freeing you from shackles or mentality, okay? For some of you, I feel like this is someone who was, inconsiderate about your grief or pain that you were going through. Like, avoiding, isolation, but then obsessed with you. It's a little bit of, obsession for a lot of y'all. It could be multiple things. I don't think healthy obsession is a thing, but some people say it's healthier. A lot of us, we need to control our level of, like, I deal with people, clients, where they become like an obsessive thing, and then you have to kind of like, okay, wait, you need to work on those things, and create boundaries and stuff like that, because there's people that can become, very possessive or, obsessive, So now your passion for is the antidote to indifference, okay? So I feel like this is something that, I don't know. It says indifference, disinterest, detachment. So a lot of you are in that energy as well. You're detaching from this energy. So this is an energy that it's kind of like bruising the ego and pride of this person. So yeah. In pain, find healing and deeper connection to the self. Sorrow, mourning, loss. Okay, so I don't know, for a lot of you, you are grieving this apathy energy if you avoiding and suppressing and not caring what's going on and stuff like that. Getting your humanity back. So a lot of you, this is someone who's got their humanity back, or working on those things, or maybe you're helping them do those things. I'm going to tap into Tarot and see, but if the High Priestess come in, I feel like exactly... See beyond the past, and it's in you, okay? So 23, 24 could be significant. 333 heal. So yeah, remember I told you guys to like malachite and look at green. It's the heart chakra. Is gonna build the strength. So this is someone like overcoming the devil, let's say, right? This is the strength energy. So this is working with the shadow, dealing with addictions. Again, this is someone stuck in their pride and ego, right? And this is something that they also were suppressing. Express, don't express. Authenticity is freeing. So this is why I was saying today felt like a bit like I need to be myself with whoever this energy is, so that then it can be, if I'm teaching about authenticity and being yourself and like, letting go of the pride and ego, then I have to do that. But then I do put the filter and it makes me feel like, but you're talking about it. But at least I'm like voicing it, like I'm not like keeping it to myself, like, oh, look, it's a filter, okay? But that's my ego, okay? That's it. Because I was like, I had poofy eyes, okay? I was crying and stuff, okay? But that does not mean that, I need to acknowledge that. So healthy ego, it's a healthy for you, okay? Sometimes it could be, it says, beyond the facade of ego lies the death of true character, okay? So I'm showing you my true character, okay? But there's someone here who just lives in that attachment. Exactly. Attachment to like ego, attachment to toxic things, attachment. Like this is someone who has a weird, I don't know. But yes, envy again and desire. What the hell? Yeah, but they neglected you, right? So a lot of you feel this energy as well. You desire and envy. I don't feel it from you for divine feminines. I feel like more from the masculine energy. This is someone who's healing the patriarchy. Or if they're not aware that they are. Because most of patriarchy energy is this a superiority of being like, oh, males is, you know, like, I don't know. It's something about male ego or culture or something like that. Toxic masculinity or something like that. It says, turn green eyes into a force for self-improvement and inspiration. That's you, baby. So, jealousy. That's what it says. Jealousy. Covetousness or longing. Again, it goes to desire. Harness its power to manifest dreams, not delusions. Okay, so again, longing again 2 times. So someone's longing for you, yearning, craving. Wow. But it's weird, they left you, right? For a lot of you feel neglected, or they neglected you. But this is someone who was neglected in the past. There's childhood wounds here. Yeah, this is what they hide in the dark. Okay, and they don't like to be read. So this is someone who like watching this and they feel uncomfortable because they're being read. Well, sorry, but I feel like this message is for both, but mostly divine feminines. If they neglected you or abandoned you or left you in red or something like that, just see beyond the past, because there's something that the strength and the healing comes from you. This is someone intimidated by you. But they're sorry. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, what would it be doing that? Like, they want to, they just don't know how to come forward. Cowardly. Sorry. Lend to your inner garden and it will flourish. Yeah, so they didn't water the seed, they didn't water you, so now it's like they envy you, desire you, but there's this block. Yeah, it's being blocked because they have to heal, they have to go through the shadow. They cannot just come, and a lot of you, like, they don't just like, oh, okay, act like, no, what the fuck, make it hard for this person. Or a lot of you just know, like, the opportunity is missed, right? But this is someone who doesn't want to give up. A lot of you like that, the chase or whatever. It depends. Like, this person better comes with actions and not bullshit, you know? Yeah. See what I mean? They're in that avoidance energy. Bueno. Face what you fear, for avoiding is but a temporary refuge. Evasion, neglect, denial. Again, they're denying this. So then what's the point, right? Or I feel like this is something that they did in the past. They were resisting this connection. Bueno. So I guess Godfather is advocating for this specific people. This is not for everybody. It will not resonate with everybody. Okay, so they were suppressing their feelings. They chose their pride and ego. Now they regret that shit. It's in you. You know the truth. See beyond the past. They want your forgiveness. Or this is someone who's avoiding still. Taking accountability that they hurt you. That they did something shitty. And that it's not okay. Okay, the ladybug and sweet pea happiness. Ooh, that's deep. The finch and the peach romance. So yeah, they neglected this romance, this happiness. Fuck. Yeah, their inspiration. Oh, so now they're determined, okay? Because you're their home. Canadian could be significant. I am in Canada. This is someone who's, yeah, cat and lavender. So this is someone who, like, they got their independence, so they see you more independent now. Ladybug could be significant. Peaches. Remember that? That guy was obsessed with peaches from Mario. I don't know if that could be significant, but yeah. Ugh. Introspection. The weasel and pine. Yeah, someone's transforming. Yeah. But they want you to be patient. Ay, bueno. Okay, so we have inner conflict and inner truth. Okay, something about the image is supposed to mean something. A lot of you like night owls. Small step, big accomplishment. Okay, so a lot of you transformation, the inner like turtle. So slow and steady wins the race, but it's not a race. It's more like collaborative, collective liberation at this point. A lot of you face your fears. So this is someone also like not like claim your power. Yeah. So a lot of you call your energy back, or this is someone calling their energy back. A lot of you need to call your energy back from this energy if they are not, if they're just avoiding this completely, avoiding the shadow work, avoiding the work. Okay. But cool, the energy I was called here to do. If this person is not doing the work, this is not for you. Okay, like this is someone who is doing it, or recognizing that they're doing it but they're kind of like in the midst of it, sort of. But it's like spirit allowing them to understand that they can't avoid this work anymore, especially if they're like yearning and craving and wanting a future with someone or something, or basically someone. There's someone here that they are understanding. This, for a lot of you, this could be you're the light and they're the shadow, or something about the moon and the sun, or some of you, you're the lion and they're like the geese, or like, you know, this energy is like you are different in some way but also kind of the same, but it does work somehow. I mean, this is Father God's work, so I'm just the messenger. Okay. Face your fears is in reverse. Okay, so this is someone not doing that, not hearing the call, not hearing the message. A lot of you, I've been seeing so many crows in all my energy readings. So the suppression energy could be significant. So thank you guys for liking, commenting, and sharing it. It does help because there is this energy of suppressing the truth, or someone getting this message. Because the illusion or the narrative of how this person didn't do what it was expected of them to do, which is like go their way, choose money, or choose another woman, or another karmics, or partying or clubbing, the materialistic lifestyle. It's not for this person. They decided to join those spaces and be in the pride and the shadow, nourishing the shadow, because they understood. So they willingly chose spaces where they can witness those things from other people, if that makes sense. Yeah, so this is someone, face your fears is in reverse. 38 could be significant. Okay. And then this one in reverse is better than you can imagine, but it's like a little like a baby. All right. Something about triangles, or dragonfly could be significant. Okay. A lot of you, they felt like you are more than them. This could be insecurity, or yeah, they really don't like to be read. So a lot of you, they're intimidated if you're a psychic or a psychic reader or something like that. Not everybody is, okay? Maybe you're just really good at reading people, or know when someone's bullshitting you and stuff. You know when they are. So yeah, this intimidates this person, but they can't help themselves as well. It's like they're allowing their pride and their ego jeopardize this union, this thing that they pray for and wanted to. Yes, the Five of Pentacles. They have bonded. They know that you are guarded. Yes. This is getting interesting. So the Five of Pentacles either is you or them feeling it's like a lack mentality or poverty, but Five of Pentacles is abundant or feelings the victim or something like that too. Could be. Because literally the key is right there. They just have to look over there and put the key there, right? So this is someone who's like, okay, I'm not speculating. Let me see what they're trying to say. Okay, so they're changing the mentality. but also they're trying to change the mentality of you feeling abandoned, or you put them out in the cold, or they put you there. I don't know, but there's something about it's destined, it's fated, it was meant to happen. 10-10, literally. Okay, so yeah, this King of Swords with the sun here, like, look how he's like looking at this person. So the point that they're saying is that they wanted to change themselves to be better for you, but for them as well. Obviously there is selfish reasons here. The pride and ego came out, right? So there's something that didn't work out as well. So a lot of you feel like, am I second best, or why now they're coming back because whatever they went, it didn't work out, right? Oof. It says patience here because something is ending. There's an ending. It's something that they're gonna clarify this. A lot of you, this is your peace and you're their peace. Like, you bring peace to each other somehow, somewhere. So a lot of you have never been with this person or in a relationship. So this is another clue that it's not for everybody. Again, the King of Swords is coming out. This is someone who wants to speak the truth. Their wish fulfillment. They're waiting for their wish fulfillment, or this is their past. They were waiting for this. Obsessive. Obsessive about what? This jealousy, envy. Someone's jealous or envious of what you accomplished. So yeah, they have to work on their shadow. They have to put something to rest. Bueno, they're reaping what they sow. Something about, I don't know, I feel like this is someone also, their shadow is that they ignore this because they wanted to eat their cake and eat it too. See, there it comes back. The fact that it comes back all the time is because they have done that, and they know that for a lot of you that it's not, it's just, you just not interested, right? So this is someone who, like, they see you as a wish fulfillment, right? And they're waiting for the opportunity to come back, or for them to like speak up to you, or speak up their truth that they didn't speak up in the past. But a lot of you, they left their room for assumptions as well. Like, could be a lot of you like overthinking, or I feel like the acknowledgement that you were heard needs to be in this energy. Yes, this is why a lot of you move forward, because they were showing you signs that they weren't interested, right? That they're not. A lot of you, King of Swords energy is someone very cold. And the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment of what? Their wishes was for you to wait for them. It's for you to... All right, so we have the Seven of Cups. They're dreaming, you know, their options. They're looking at options. Nobody compares. Oh my goodness. So this is someone who, like, maybe they try to replace you, or try to put... It did not work. So they could have replaced you with work, or, you know, they thought the grass was greener. I don't know. This is someone who's... A lot of you, they're petrified of, like, facing you or looking you in the face. Bueno. I don't know about a lot of you. Is like, you're not really, yeah, I feel like they abandoned this, and this is why it's shifting. It's like the wheels are turning or something like that. Yeah, the Seven of Swords, the High Priestess. I don't know, I feel like this person thought that you were lying, but again, there's this energy of envy of your gifts. Yes, you're very patient, very loving. There's the Emperor energy. This is someone who's like, how can you not like survive without money? I don't know. This is someone who has that ego still. Yeah, they could have like ghosted you. Yeah, to like create some type of reaction or something like that. A lot of you know, or try to put you in your head or something like that. I don't know. It's something, and then looking at you at your work for some of y'all.
That's why we say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free for everyone. And if you have a problem with everyone being free, because you only want some people to be free, the problem's not the chant, the problem's you. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.